Richard Gough, as ever, at the head of the Rangers line.
Well, just listen to the noise that we hear when these two teams take the field.
Yes, 50,000 here to emphasise that the word fan is short for fanatic. By the standards of the rivalry between these two clubs, this is an exceptional occasion. Celtic back on top after more than a year. Rangers supporters desperate for this 9th title in a row. An achievement that's been rammed down their throats for more than 20 years since the league trophy came here for a 9th successive season for Celtic back in 1974. Well, Stuart Kerr, who was 22 years old yesterday, has come into the side recently, and he's actually a pupil of the goalkeeper at the other end, Andy Gorham. They were together at Hibs when Gorham was the senior player. Kerr was just a junior on schoolboy forms, but Andy Gorham has broken Celtic hearts in the past, and what an occasion for him to find his fitness and come back after this hip problem.
I tell you what, before the match, Martin, you can imagine both dressing rooms and how Celtic were so anxious to know, would this man there, would he be fit? Would he be wearing that #1 jersey? And I just think, after all he's done in the last few seasons against Celtic, how they must have been a little disappointed he was there. And as for Stuart Kerr, he may have played, Martin, but nothing can prepare you for what's ahead. He'll want a touch of the ball early, a nice clean touch, and then he'll take it from there. But this is new. This is something to savour.
Hugh Dallas from Motherwell is tonight's referee. Talk of the biggest demand for tickets since Real Madrid came here for a European quarter-final back in 1980. Celtic very much together these days. Rangers at the moment having a rocky spell. But what they have done in the past when playing Celtic, at times they haven't been the better team, but they've usually come away with the better end of the result. Judgment Night Part 2 is perhaps slightly stretching the point. No titles can be won or lost, but as a pointer for Hoolby, Holyfield and Hoolby Tyson at the end of the season, it is such a meaningful match. Celtic attacked the goal to the right in the first half. The weather's been pretty good in Glasgow in the build-up to a match that takes in everyone's interest.
And both teams lined up exactly as we thought on the graphic, Martin. Celtic 4-4-2, Rangers very much in that formation with two holding midfield players, and Alberts and Gascoigne slightly ahead of those.
O'Neill to Tomboy and Grant. Alan Stubbs, the Englishman, coming to terms with what a match of this magnitude means. Of course, the two clubs have met already this season at Ibrox. Rangers winning by 2-0. The second crucial goal coming just after Celtic had hit the woodwork at the other end, and Rangers broke to wrap it all up with Gascoigne. Alberts, well fed by Laudrup. Here's Robertson on the move. One of the few Scottish-born players in the Rangers side tonight. McInnes is another, a true Rangers fan, given the chance to live out his dreams. Laudrup. Gascoigne. So often the focal figure, but just one of a cast tonight trying to come up with a crucial result. Gorham, whose hip problem has really been causing most difficulty in terms of kicking the ball. Didn't really connect cleanly, but didn't show any signs of grimacing. Weghorst, Celtic's day. Donnelly. Back from Van Hooydonk. McNamara, who's been developing a very comfortable right-sided partnership with Donnelly. Further forward, it's Di Canio. Richard Gough is penalised. That's the Rangers part of the ground where this incident took place. Around 8,000 visiting fans letting Di Canio know that they thought he died.
Well, I think he made the most of it. I think it was a free kick, but he made more of it than there really was. But that doesn't matter. It's a free kick early on, and it allows Celtic to put quality in the box if they want and let people go and attack it.
And the referee just had a word with Di Canio about, I think, reacting to the fans. Header by Grant was a good one. This is Stubbs trying to clip it across. Yeah. It flopped into Gorham's grateful grasp.
I'm not sure who it came off either. When they went to sleep a little, Rangers, and Stubbs was allowed to get the cross. And as it came over, Gascoigne and Petric both go for it. I think they're quite happy that it just dropped into Andy Gorham's arms. And very similar to an awful lot of Rangers-Celtic games that I've seen. Early on, Celtic starting the more confident in the match.
Grant. Just tucking it down for Boyd. He was part of Scotland's successful win over Sweden, aiding the World Cup qualification hopes. Of course, one of the Rangers players, Björklund here, was on the beaten Swedish side at Ibrox, his home ground, on Sunday. Laudrup. There's a Van Hooydonk who got close to McInnes and forced the error. Di Canio has been in excellent form recently. Tom. Now Donnelly. Weghorst. McNamara to try and whip it in. Donnelly's first touch was excellent, and it takes the touch off Björklund.
Lovely football from Celtic. That really was a very cool, patient build-up. When you look at the space Donnelly's got here, he'll be a little disappointed that he hit Björklund with that. Had an opportunity to put in a really telling ball.
Oh, Gascoigne got pushed quite clearly there, and if there were any aggressive thoughts in his mind because of this, he certainly got himself together pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can see that Brian O'Neill really making a really determined bid to get there, but there was no way he was going to get through Gascoigne unless he fouled him.
Well, Rangers, just to remind you, will go back on top if they win. A draw, of course, a Celtic win would keep the home side tonight on top of the table. Robertson almost got in behind McNamara.
He does that ever so well, David Robertson. He's as good as I've seen left side at getting forward and causing people problems. And when you look at the formation Rangers have got out tonight, it's going to be important that both he and Cleland do that if Rangers are going to succeed.
It's Craig Moore. They're trying to perhaps catch out on any early nerves for Stuart Kerr. It's beyond the goalkeeper. Di Canio. Here's the German, Tom. Really got to go it alone. And now Czech's waiting for support, which was arriving right and left. Gorham's kick goes straight to Weghorst. Tom again, who's not been on a winning Celtic side against Rangers. And he's been saying over the past couple of days it's time to put that right. Boyd. And still, Van Hooydonk. The challenge came from Gough. The decision is a goal kick.
And their claim for the penalty came from the fans. And it's noticeable. Pierre Van Hooydonk just got to his feet to get on with it. The Tom Boyd does ever so well, wide on the left. And he plays a decent ball in. It's not easy to control. He's under pressure from Richard Gough. He can't quite get his first touch right. But Tommy Burns, sorry Mark, will be delighted with the start his side have made in the opening 7 minutes. But he'll be very conscious of the fact that he's seen this many times before. And what he'll want is that apart from the good play, he'll want a goal.
There's a slip by O'Neill, and Laudrup to win. Rangers look for a goal and get one! In the 8th minute from Brian Laudrup.
Well, how many times have you and I sat and witnessed this? A good positive start from the home side. One mistake, and when you have someone of the world class of Brian Laudrup, you just can't make a mistake. Look, but he's got 40 yards to go. It's not over and done with. He's got a bit of football in him. Alan Stubbs doesn't close him down, in my opinion, quick enough or well enough, because he allows Laudrup time to drill it past not only him, but to drill it past Stuart Kerr. Rangers' first real sortie, and it's a punishing one.
A tale of two Brians. Brian O'Neill made the slip. Brian Laudrup took maximum advantage of it. And the player who picked up an award as Scotland's man of last month only yesterday has given the Hunters, as he's been calling his Rangers team, in second place. Unusual situation for them against the hunted Celtic. Well, we've talked a lot already about the psychology of this particular fixture. And, well, although Celtic have bags of time to recover if they can, this is a major blow to the mental side of the evening for them. Gascoigne. Albets. Robertson on the move. And this time, O'Neill gets it away. Donnelly.
Well, you can build and build and build Old Firm matches, Martin, up to a point where sometimes you're a little disappointed. But I think the one thing that's always made classic Old Firm encounters over recent years has been a goal, maybe in the opening 15, 20 minutes. We have a goal in the opening 10.
Donnelly. Celtic have another corner. Rangers have the lead. Alan Stubbs joins the posse in the centre. O'Neill. It's another corner. Already blood spilt. Rangers. Richard Goff. And it was Goff who didn't flinch with the clearance. Back from Boyd. Nicely spotted by Grant. Donnelly on to Di Canio. Celtic have three in the centre, and Donnelly waiting on the edge. Di Canio trying to get a yard on Robertson and get the ball across. Tidied up by Cleland.
A good response. It's exactly what Tommy Burns would have wanted, a positive response from his side. He's quickly come from that seat in the stand down to the touchline, trying to make one or two orders, maybe change one or two little things, but he'll be pleased with the response of his side. Immediately back on the attack again.
All the Celtic players trying to sort themselves out. The Celtic fans are pretty stunned. A real change in the atmosphere. Rapture, of course, for the Rangers followers. Björklund, who is a true defender.
And he's quick. And I think if ever they needed that, it was then.
Di Canio. And it was Petric who got it away that time. Tom. Now O'Neill. Donnelly. Well, he was shuffled down the cul-de-sac by Rangers then. And Di Canio is flagged offside. Andy, what do you make of this Rangers formation with the two screening players, McInnes and Moore?
Well, if ever they needed those two, it'll be now, Martin, having gone one up. I think what it does allow three centre-backs, and I think Petric, Goff and Bjorkle in particular, to just protect the 18-yard line, not to be any wider than, I would say, 20 yards covering the three of you. If Rangers are going to defend well, it allows those two to play in front of them at the edge of the box, so that none of the three centre-backs is drawn out of position. And then with, of course, Robertson and Cleland tucking back, and when they're defending, it does give them that almost 7 men across the edge of the 18-yard box that Celtic have to break down.
And Celtic playing a dangerous game here.
Well, they're playing a confident game, and I think that's a measure of the way they're playing at the moment.
Form, of course, tends to fly out of the window when these fixtures come around, but Celtic have played 5-1-5 at home in the Premier Division this season. It's only the third goal they've conceded in the league on this ground, but the repercussions of it could be enormous. Brian Laudrup, in defence of Brian O'Neill, he could have made that mistake against lesser talents and got away with it, not when Laudrup was around.
There's a host of players who would have quite happily lost possession to 40 yards from goal. And I think there's even a few wearing blue jerseys who would quite happily have lost possession to there. The one he wouldn't have was a man he did lose it to.
Relatively short time in Scotland, Paul Gascoigne has responded very positively to the demands of this fixture. Has a good record against Celtic and is a young man trying very much to keep himself under control. Came through well for England in Georgia, was particularly effective as the match wore on in keeping the ball as England kept the lead in Tbilisi last Saturday. Tom.
I think Rangers will be quite happy to concede possession in the kind of areas that Brian O'Neill and Alan Stubbs have the ball at the moment. I don't think they'll be too keen to pull men out. But what they will say is, OK, we'll give you it there, but when you come into the last stop, that's when you've got to do something special if you want to create something.
It's a very good idea from Stubbs with the pass, but it was Gascoigne who was helping out Cleland on that far side, defending for Rangers. Here's McNamara. Oh, and Weghorst is in here for Celtic. And one Dane had scored at one end, and the other had a great opportunity to equalise at the other.
Well, David Robertson gets tucked away. You can see him down at the bottom of the screen. He gets drawn out, and that creates a huge gap. There's a little bit of fortune that the ball reached Weghorst, but really at this level, Laudrup showed what you've got to do, Martin. You must make the goalkeeper work, that's the thing. So one thing you must do, he'll be disappointed that he's got under it, got it up and over. Make Andy Gorham work, that would have been the order of the day.
So here's Boyd. The big moments in the opening 15 minutes going the way of Rangers. McInnes. Alberts.
That's what it's going to be hard for Rangers, Martin, because they haven't anyone up there who they can just play it up to and say, get hold of it and keep the ball for a bit. Brian Laudrup, very much a rover up front, and it'll be difficult for Rangers to play the ball up and get someone to hold on to it. And there I think we'll see that Celtic do have an awful lot of possession. But it's one thing having possession, it's another thing making it count.
Free kick was given against Van Hooijdonk, who's contractual uncertainty with Celtic, has got a host of scouts here at the game tonight. A good number from English clubs, we believe. Celtic, of course, hope that it can all be resolved and he will stay. Made a big impact, the Dutchman, in the Scottish game. Stubbs. Boyd to take on Gascoigne and whip the cross in. Picked off by the head of Petric. Gascoigne trying to get it out, but not with any of his customary deliberation. Here's Andy Todd. That's what Craig Moore's in there to do, hassle and hurry and stop Celtic passing the ball with control into the Rangers penalty area, but it might come in now. can only get it half away. And the shot from the midfield player, who of course is Celtic to the core, Peter Grant.
Yeah, it's not the best ball in, but you see the two lads, 7 and 9, McInnes and Moore, just playing ahead of that centre-back trio, and that's the kind of area he wants. Peter Grant, not noted for his striking ability certainly, but a little bit underneath it.
We should point out, Andy, that for Celtic to be in this position going into this match as league leaders, it does represent significant improvement over the last couple of years. Now there's another step forward to be taken. But of course it never was going to be an easy one, and having conceded the first goal this evening, it's going to be that much harder.
And I think when you look at results between these two over the last couple of years, Martin, the next step forward, it would seem an obvious one. It's Celtic beating Rangers and going from there.
It hasn't happened for Tommy Burns in his time as management here. The last win was at Hampden in May 1995, I should say. And that really was a match that didn't matter too much in the league stakes. This certainly matters. Alberts has stayed down on the halfway line. He really is a strong man, and he didn't stay down for long. £4 million from Hamburg. A couple of appearances already for Germany. Hugh Dallas, who has been in charge of an Old Firm game once before, is the match that finished 3-3. Gascoigne. Dispossessed by Weghorst. Di Canio wanted it into feet. Petric. Moore getting forward to try and support Laudrup that time. Maybe flick it on for the Dane. McInnes. Well, it's going to be a booking for Boyd for just laying hands on Laudrup.
Yeah, Brian Laudrup was making a lovely little run in behind Tom Boyd. And a little pull at the jersey. And I think when you do that, I don't think you can have any argument if the referee brings out a yellow card.
"20 minutes gone, Rangers already in the lead. Maybe a chance to really improve their position here. Alberts, and with a relatively untried goalkeeper, you can see what was in his mind.
I'm not so sure that's not his first touch. Apart from picking it out the back of the net, Stuart Kerr's played 20 minutes of an Old Firm match, his first. And that might well be the first time he's been called in to do anything, get a touch of the ball.
Top. Di Canio. Rangers wanted offside, they're not going to get it. Celtic do get a corner, and there's still a bit of a fleeting going on at the assistant referee on this near side. Di Canio will take the corner. Goalkeeper didn't really command the situation. Plenty of bodies for him to try and fight his way through, Andy Gorham.
The game came all the way. I think it's always dangerous, always dodgy if you come into that many bodies. Andy Gorham's not the biggest, most imposing goalkeeper. But when he comes that far, he's really got to make sure.
Laudrup. Elusive again. Gascoigne trying to keep pace in the centre. Alberts has got forward as well. It's Alberts.
Well, that's the ploy, Mark. That's the ploy for Laudrup to break like that, and for Gascoigne and Alberts to get in support. And both did the job. You know, and when you see that, that's half a chance. Wonderful run. Now, Laudrup doesn't cross this immediately because no one's with him. He's left everybody behind, so he pulls it back. That gives Gascoigne and Albert's time to get into the box. And it comes over. It's a decent height, a decent distance, just didn't get enough power in the header.
Well, all this while you're looking at that replay, Andy, Di Canio is getting booked for an incident right in front of the assistant referee on this near side involving Richard Gough, who is also in need of some attention for that bloodied nose. Van Hooydonk's got involved for some reason. Weghorst has dragged him away.
I think what you'd ask is saying to Richard Gough, you've got to cut and you've got to get off the pitch to get it treated. Obviously Gough didn't want to go off.
But it's a second Celtic booking. Well, Di Canio knows a thing or two about derbies from his time in Italy, with Juventus against Torino, Milan against Inter, Lazio against Roma. Pretty heated occasions. Well, Richard Gough says it looks as though he will be leaving Ibrox at the end of the season, but he's keeping his options open. He's certainly not leaving this game. Walter Smith and Archie Knox, Davy Dodds there as well. Little meeting of the minds of the backroom staff. And the referee feeling now being pursued. Celtic feeling that the free kick had been taken and Van Hooijdonk should have gone on, Andy.
Well, this is what happens here. His foot's on the ball. Now that's certainly not taken. When you can understand the upset, it's very similar to an incident that went out at Old Trafford between Manchester United and Tottenham involving Terry Sheringham. Very similar. But I think you could see from that, that was certainly no intent in taking a free kick from Richard Gough.
And now there's more for Hugh Dallas to deal with.
Well, every decision that goes against Celtic now is going to be greeted with this sort of noise. I mean, that's a free kick, it's as simple as that. There can't be an argument about it. Not so sure it's a booking, I have to say, but it's certainly a free kick.
Stubbs is booked. Well, you do feel at the moment that Celtic's chances in this match depend most of all on their self-control, if they can maintain it. In danger of losing the grip on the reality of the situation. Gascoigne eyeing up the free kick.
Well, you've got the craft of Gascoigne, haven't you? And you've got the power of Albert's. I mean, take your pick.
Celtic have got 4 in the wall. Gascoigne has certainly got the quality to bend it past, but it's Albert's to power it into the line of 4. And here's Di Canio. And the challenge was by McInnes, who was struggling to keep pace with the Italian.
Well, that'll be a booking. Di Canio's away from McInnes. Just gets a touch to the ball there. McInnes goes to ground. It can only be one result. Yellow card.
Yellow from McInnes. The first Rangers player to receive a caution. So in a not dissimilar situation to that which was confronted by Gascoigne and Alberts a moment or two ago. It's Celtic to challenge Gorham through Van Hooijdonk. doesn't really seem to be disguising his intentions. And Gorham got to it with outstretched arms and strong fists.
Well, he got there. I didn't think he would be beaten. This is a sort of distance. Well, if it beats Andy Gorham, you'd need to think it would be in the top corner.
Grant. Donnelly lining up in the centre. Well played by Gorham, not once but twice.
Yeah, that was a save.
And his teammates dragging Donnelly out of the way. And once more, as Donnelly, I think, was quite entitled to have a bite at it.
Yeah, you better believe it. Andy Gorham did brilliantly. He guessed what Donnelly was going to do. Rangers come out looking for offside from the flick there, but you can see Donnelly's not. Now watch Gorham. Then he goes. That's brilliant goalkeeping. But Donnelly's entitled to go after it again. Didn't quite catch him. But the way this game's been played just now, any little incident like that, players are going to get upset. But that was super goalkeeping. He gets up quickly. Donnelly's entitled to go for it. You see he doesn't catch Gorham, but I think he's entitled to go after the ball.
Well, I can't think of anywhere else in the world where you see football played with this passion. It is leading to difficult times for referee Hugh Dallas. The spectators driving on the players to operate here with their emotions as well as with their talents. And Rangers lead Celtic at Parkhead by the Brian Laudrup goal still. Canio wasn't going to get anything for that.
No, you can always tell players' reactions are good ones. There was no complaint from the Italian. He got quickly up. Well, he's offside.
Well, he was offside straight away, but the flag didn't go up straight away.
No, it didn't. I mean, he's right. He got it right at last, you would say, or eventually. But Laudrup was offside. He's really late. Look at Laudrup's run. The ball's played now. Now you can see he's 3-4 yards. Now look at the linesman on the far side. He took a little bit of time, but eventually he got it right.
Yes, and to be fair to the official, for half a second Laudrup was heading back towards the halfway line. Then he couldn't resist going for the ball, and once he made that move, of course, the flag had to go up. Almost half an hour gone. O'Neill. Early across this time. But comfortable for Gorham. Been a little bit of controversy. Andy Gorham's had a fair amount of work to do in the Rangers penalty area. A bit of controversy about Gorham not being able to be in the Scotland squad last weekend, but being fit for this match tonight. But 5 days, a long time in football.
It is a very long time. I think it's unfair criticism.